आप लोग के खुद की भी चेकलिस्ट होते होंगे ना, which developer to work with, and I get it, they are more of a local players present there.
होम लोन जो है जितना जिस रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट पे है, थोड़ा सा EMI ज़्यादा रहता है, लेकिन people prefer कि यार खुद का घर भी तो हो रहा है.
So Vipul, as we were discussing about tier 2 and tier 3 cities, एक important चीज आपने highlight किया कि customer बदल रहे हैं, right? So in the recent report we have noticed the unsold inventory has gone down. There has been an interesting demand of the larger and premium homes, and there's been a surge in demand for 3 BHK homes. So I want to understand कि customer का ऐसे प्रेफरेंस कैसे बदल रहा है आपके हिसाब से. इफ वी वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड द इनसाइट्स ऑफ दिस कस्टमर बिहेवियर एंड बाइंग प्रोसेस व्हिच सडनली हैज चेंज्ड, व्हाट डू यू थिंक आर द मेजर फैक्टर्स दैट इज इन्फ्लुएंसिंग कस्टमर इन दिस मार्केट?
So after pandemic, there has been a lot of reverse migration happening. A lot of people from tier 1 cities who basically belong to tier 2 or tier 3 cities came for work here, but as now work from home culture or hybrid working or such kind of thing which has come up, and remote offices kind of thing which has come up, so in tier 2 and tier 3 cities where in tier 1 consumers का आना शुरू हुआ, and they have large incomes, they have good incomes, and they have good aspirations also. So just to have a better quality of life, more spaces for themselves, good amenities for their families and everything, they have shifted back to tier 2 cities, and this in turn have increased the demand for such kind of premium luxury properties in Indore. So these are the actual buyers of these luxury premium kind of thing, which have really helped. Again, the local people also, after pandemic, they want to move out from cities, move out from smaller homes to a bigger space.
Yeah.
If someone is doing work from home, 2 BHK की जगह उसको 3 BHK चाहिए. दोनों हस्बैंड वाइफ है, दोनों काम कर रहे हैं, so उनको एक अलग स्पेस उनको क्रिएट करना है, अलग जगह क्रिएट करना है. So these are the main factors which have really increased the demand of 3 BHK and 4 BHK especially, and I think it will continue for a longer period because after pandemic people have realized the importance of having a home, a good home with better amenities, better spaces and everything.
So ये जो luxury premium properties जिनका demand बढ़ा है, what would be the, let's say, ticket size of these properties?
So if we specifically talk about tier 2 or basically Indore City अगर की अपन बात करें तो around 75 lakhs to 1.25 CR ये सबसे ज़्यादा demanding है इस रेंज में प्रॉपर्टी. ये अपर मिडिल क्लास के जो लोग हैं वो लोग इसके लिए ज़्यादा डिमांड कर रहे हैं, और उनका ये बजट है जिस पे वो प्रेफर कर रहे हैं घर खरीदने का.
और ऐसे घर के कारपेट एरिया के लगभग क्या साइज होंगे?
So if we talk about carpet areas of these apartments or houses, so if we talk about a 3 BHK carpet area would be around 700-800 square feet, and for a 4 BHK it would be around 1300-1400 square feet. So these are the carpet areas that are preferred by these kind of customers. 3 BHK 800 square feet carpet area I'm talking about. Super built up is something very different.
Yeah, that's different. But the RERA carpet area is using for 3 BHK is
3 BHK 1,800 square feet. Yes, that is okay. Because वो ज़्यादा दूर भी नहीं जाना चाहते.
But this is in the city.
Yes.
Central.
These kind of people don't want to go when they are buying, especially apartments. Otherwise, they would switch to plots. If we talk about plot, then plot size 2400, 3000, 3500.
ये square yard में बोल रहे हो?
Square feet.
Square feet, bunch.
Yes.
Okay. Right.
So plotting में before it was like 800,000 square feet. Now it has gone up to 4,000, 5,000 square feet.
Okay.
Yes.
तो इसमें आप बोल रहे हो जो कस्टमर प्रेफरेंस, बिकॉज अगेन इंदौर मार्केट में 75 लाख to 1.2 CR is still a great good investment coming from middle and upper middle class. So इसमें आपको क्या लग रहा है कि कस्टमर्स का आप बोल रहे हो कि ये डिमांड बढ़ता रहेगा, Because what we are talking, like how we see the reports, हमने of course notice किया कि affordable housing का demand घट गया है. पर आपको लगता है कि in coming time affordable housing will be also in major demand, or you think कि these tier 2, tier 3 cities will now demand luxury properties?
So affordable properties is now majorly shifted to this Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana.
Yeah.
Government has taken such initiatives that these people are now catered by government properties which are coming up. So, and the government property prices are really less cheaper than the developer prices.
Yeah.
So that in turn has really not motivating the developer to go for 1 BHK or 2 BHK because वो government prices पे इतना सस्ता मिल रहा है कि ये कर ही नहीं पाते. So वो already fuel हो रहा है through these Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana projects and everything. And now developer और जो upper middle class के जो buyers है इनको developer target करने की सोच रहा है कि हम इनको टारगेट करें बजाय अफोर्डेबल प्रॉपर्टीज के. सो डिमांड इज देयर बट द अफोर्डेबल डिमांड इज नाउ बीइंग शिफ्टेड टू दीज गवर्नमेंट.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So we also notice after pandemic, customer का जो आपने बात बोली कि larger homes, bigger space चाहिए, but what we have seen, they want branded developers. Now they are not ready to put their hard-earned money with some new developers, budding developers, someone like that. They want someone who has a good track record, especially in the metro cities. So when we talk about the Indore market, do you see that kind of pattern also happening?
Yes, people are now actually house hunting has now become digital more. So when we attend the customer or when we meet the customer, we see that customer is already aware about us.
Yeah.
About any developer. He knows what we have done in past, whether we are registered or not, whether this project completion whether he has completed the past project or not. So he is very much in awareness. So obviously listed developers are yet to come to tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities, but there are good local developers who have had a good track record in the past, and their sales have really gone up. Their sales have really pushed in the past years, and that is only because they have delivered good in past. So as the ticket size increases more, credibility would come in more. So I think कंसोलिडेशन भी हो रहा है. जो लोग पहले खुद बनाते थे अब जेवी देने लग गए हैं अच्छे डेवलपर्स, अच्छे बिल्डर्स को. अब वो नहीं सोचते कि हम भी बना लें, क्योंकि या फिर कोई ऐसा ब्रांडेड हमारे जैसा या कोई भी ऐसी कंपनी को या ऐसे चैनल पार्टनर को वो ऑनबोर्ड करते हैं जिसका ट्रस्ट है, जो उनके बिहाफ पे उनका अगर ब्रांड नहीं है और किसी चैनल पार्टनर का या किसी अच्छे रियल्टर का ब्रांड है तो उसको वो पुल इन करते हैं. So this is how it is working right now in tier 2 cities.
अच्छा. So जैसे RERA का आपको पता है कि the RERA body is quite strict. So when it comes to developers also, and when it comes to taking action for the customer grievances. But what we have heard is when it comes to other states, RERA है, पर कितना active है और कितना customer के बोलते हैं ना हित में कितना fast action हो रहा है, it's pretty slow. So when it comes to Indore City, what is your take on the RERA present there?
So I think RERA की awareness बहुत है, और जो हमारे local associations है, whether it is CREDAI, whether it is our Realtors Association, or everyone has taken a step ahead and motivated all the players in the industry, whether it is a developer or a realtor, to get a RERA registration done. And RERA is also joining hands with these kind of associations and helping the consumers, helping the customers to solve their cases, to solve their issues. So it is not so active as RERA, I would say that, but it is active in MP.
And how is the turnaround time for customer grievances? मतलब हो रहा है,
but it is slow. It is slow. It is taking time. In terms of developer RERA permissions also, if we are launching a project, RERA approval में भी थोड़ा time लगता है, not just like in Maharashtra or something like that. So, but it is going ahead. It is moving ahead. ऐसा नहीं है कि it is not doing anything. there is an office. They are coming up with more offices in the city, in the different part of the MP. In Indore also they are planning an office. अभी तो सिर्फ भोपाल में, बट दूसरी cities में भी वो लोग plan कर रहे हैं. So with more offices opening up, system will take its pace.
True. So when it comes to mandate business, आप लोग के खुद की भी checklist होते होंगे ना, which developer to work with, and I get it, there are more of a local players present there. Rest अभी बड़े branded developers of bigger cities haven't entered. So how do you make sure? मैं ये question इसलिए पूछ रही हूँ, just to give you a background. जैसे we are seeing in Noida, when we are seeing in Gurgaon, there have been cases like Amrpali and all, जहाँ project deliver नहीं हुए, जहाँ स्वामी fund को enter करना पड़ा, and customer is left, even when the people who are involved in the mandate business, they are being changed by the customer because उनकी तो गलती है नहीं, developer ने जो promise किया वो तो deliver हो नहीं रहा. तो इस तरह के सिचुएशन को अवॉइड करने के लिए आई एम श्योर आप लोगों की भी एक चेकलिस्ट होती होगी ना, तो आप लोग अपनी तरफ से क्या ड्यू डिलिजेंस करते हैं टू सेलेक्ट डेवलपर की, हाँ इनके साथ काम करते हैं, इनका प्रोजेक्ट करते हैं, बिकॉज चलो ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड भी अच्छा, बट यू मेक श्योर दैट दिस इज हैपनिंग, द पोजीशन डेट व्हिच दे हैव कमिटेड विल हैपन.
So you will be very surprised to know, वीक में हमारे पास 2 या 3 डेवलपर्स के फोन आते हैं कि हमारा ये प्रोजेक्ट आ रहा है एंड वी वुड वांट यू टू टेक अप दिस प्रोजेक्ट, कि आप कर लो. बट वी ऑलवेज बिलीव्ड इन क्वालिटी ओवर क्वांटिटी. वी डोंट रश फॉर ऑल द प्रोजेक्ट्स कि हमें सारा प्रोजेक्ट्स करने हैं. एज आई सेड, माय मेन मिशन इज टू डू ऑर्गेनाइज्ड रियल एस्टेट वर्किंग. आई वांट टू ब्रिंग structured working in this real estate industry, especially in tier 2 cities. So I am very choosy. I see the thought process. I see how much capital he has in his hands before doing anything. Whether he is taking loan, whether he has his own land or not, or what kind of thought process he is having. We understand that first. Then we see if he is a developer from doing development from long time, then whether he has delivered those projects or not. And what is his thought process? What is his vision? Does he have his own team of what type of architects he's choosing? And what type of we take feedbacks from, like Indore is a very small market. You get to know from everyone.
You survey from customers.
We survey from customer, from our relatives. You get to know about a person if you ask someone. So we try to evaluate that way. And obviously we made when we do an MOU with any developer, we make sure you have to bring RERA, you have to bring all these permissions, you have to do all these things. Then only will be doing your project. इस तरह से हम लोग we make everything mentioned in the MOU which we do with the builder. So and again we just try to see the quality, not the quantity. There has been a lot of instances where we haven't said yes to a project and our competitors or other players might be doing that project now, but we don't regret that because we always prefer quality, and at the end it's all about our customers who are buying the house from us or a commercial property or any other thing from us. If anything happens bad, then our image would take a hit on it. So we are very cautious about it. We are very slow also about it, whether to go or to not go. So that's how we do our screening for the projects.
No, makes sense. Also, कभी इस तरह का आपने challenge face किया है where the project has got stuck from the developer side, and how did you manage that challenge?
So the project, basically whatever project gets stuck is due to payments only.
Payments.
If selling is doing good, if recovery is good, then project तो बनना ही है. And we make sure there are a lot of time where जब हम प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे होते हैं, सेल हो रहा होता है, कई बार डेवलपर के मन में आता है कि यार कुछ और दिलाओ, कुछ और करना है, कुछ और. We try to make it a point कि we'll do it first. Let's come 80-90% of this project. Let's come to this stage. Then अपन कुछ और करेंगे. So we try to make sure कि fund diverse नहीं हो, fund इधर उधर नहीं जाए. Although RERA के बाद तो ये सब चीजें possible है नहीं, but still we try to keep it that way कि वो चीजें नहीं हो. और projects stuck होता भी है तो अभी तक तो ऐसा नहीं हुआ. To the whoever developer we have chosen, delay जरूर हुआ है लेकिन deliver जरूर हुआ है. ये we have made sure it should be delivered. So वो अभी तक हुआ है. So I'm sure if the screening is right, if your first step is right, तो आगे वो problem नहीं आता.
Word of mouth in the smaller city also spread, right?
Yes.
कि कैसे partners थे, कैसा developer था, कैसे sales वाले थे. Makes sense. So coming to, let's talk about the retail brands. So what we have noticed, the prominent known retail brands are now strategically expanding into tier 2 and tier 3 cities. आपको क्या लगता है कि how come this change is happening? Like, what is the major factor or driving factor behind these retail brands getting into these cities?
So these cities still prefer or still like to go to a store and buy something. These people still like it in that way. They still are not so used to buying things online. They have a lot of time, unlike tier 1 cities. They have a lot of time. They want to go out. They want to go to a mall, have a day full out where they would shop, they would eat, they would watch a movie. They would like to spend time. So these cities still loves experiential shopping. And tier 1 में क्या हो गया, ट्रैफिक बढ़ गया है, चीजें टाइम कम हो गया है और इसलिए लोग ई कॉमर्स और उन सब पे ज्यादा शिफ्ट हो गए. सो दीज कंपनीज आर नाउ सीइंग दैट कि यहाँ पे ऑफलाइन बिजनेस अभी भी एप्लीकेबल है. आई वुड लाइक टू से कि क्रोमा जिस तरह से इंदौर में जितने स्टोर्स ओपन करे हैं, there is everywhere Croma in Indore right now.
Okay.
If you see Taswa, the brand of Aditya Birla, they have come up with 4 to 5 stores in Indore. That is a luxurious ethnic brand right now.
Yeah.
So recently there was a mall, Phoenix Citadel, which is the Central India's biggest mall, opened up in Indore. And all the big brands like Armani and other brands have opened up their stores in Indore. And they are huge stores. They are not something just like 1,000 square feet or something like that. They have been coming up with huge stores in Indore. So they see a lot of potential. These brands are seeing a lot of potential and they are doing business also. That's why they are expanding also. So the next big market for these brands to compete with the e-commerce thing, I think that's why they are expanding their business to these cities.
So apart from retail, let's also talk about commercials. We have noticed bigger brands like Infosys, your Accenture, everyone is getting into Indore and already are now established there. So how is the demand happening for commercial real estate in such markets?
So Indore is a good IT place where these IT companies are now coming up in Indore. And there is a lot of startup culture happening in Indore and in tier 2 cities, other tier 2 cities also. And this is something which is pushing the commercial real estate. If we talk about co-working spaces also, like AWFIS, Regas, they have also come up with multiple centers. And all these centers are full. It is not, you really get any space, which shows the demand for such kind of premium office spaces, whether it is co-working or whether it is a A-grade building office spaces. And the talent pool here, which these companies are getting, are at a very lower cost. And these talent people doesn't want to go to tier 1 cities also, which is very far away from their hometowns. Being in tier 2 cities, they are just 100 to 200 kilometers from their small city hometowns. So they prefer कि इसी एरिया में हमें काम मिल जाए. तो उनको कम कॉस्ट में एम्प्लॉय भी मिल रहा है, इसलिए कंपनी अट्रैक्ट भी हो रही है. सो यहाँ पे जिस तरह के एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूट्स खुल गए हैं टीयर 2 सिटीज में। उनसे जो पढ़कर बच्चे बाहर आ रहे हैं या जॉब ढूंढ रहे हैं, वो अब यहीं सेटल होना चाहते हैं। दे वांट कि यार हम इधर ही सेटल हो जाए, यहीं हमने पढ़ाई करी और यहीं हमको जॉब मिल जाए। सो Indore is the city which has both IIT and IIM.
Yeah.
Narsi Munji has come up.
Yeah.
Then Symbiosis is there. Such educational institutes which are coming up and giving a lot of talent to these companies is really motivating them to come in this part of cities and expand their business. So this in turn is really creating demand for good office spaces.
So ये जो brands आ रहे हैं, Infosys and all, because we are noticing in these metro cities जहाँ ये लोग co-working space ले लेते हैं. But in places like in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, are they taking the standalone buildings or they are taking this co-working model?
So if we talk about big companies like TCS, Infosys, Accenture or something like that, they are taking up their own spaces. TCS and Infosys has got a good subsidy also from government. So they are, as employment would be there, so government is also supporting such companies. But other smaller IT companies, they are majorly looking into co-working spaces. They are because it's just plug and play. They just instantly start from there. But if more bigger companies would come, I think they would also prefer large owned office spaces of their own, because still there the cost of acquisition is very less as compared to tier 1. So they would prefer such kind of where they would have a setup of their own.
Interesting. And it's interesting to know that these bigger companies like Coworking, AWFIS, you said, Regus, and you told me InQ Space has also come in. So you're seeing a culture also difference happening in such cities, right? Where the startups are also there are freelancers. So you think these co-working brands or these outlets will increase further in these cities?
Yeah, the demand is growing day by day. And because if a lot of startups are using these kind of spaces. It's not the big companies these spaces are being used by them, but startups are there, and there are many startups which are coming up. So startups के लिए सबसे friendly चीज है ये. So इनका demand ही इस तरीके का इनको मिल रहा है कि इनको expand करना ही पड़ रहा है. और ये further down the cities भी जाएंगे, मुझे ऐसा लगता है. Not now, but in coming years.
And what's your input when it comes to co-living? क्योंकि co-living का culture हमने metro cities में से देखा है कि जो migrations आए, जो different cities आए, for them it's very affordable and makes sense. So in such cities, do you think co-living will also start coming in, or is it already there?
It's not really there. It's not really there right now. But as the rental will go up and as property prices are increasing, so rental will eventually go up. So I think this kind of co-living spaces will increase.
Okay.
Right now, rental is not that high, so it is not motivating anyone to go for a co-living space.
So tell me, Vipul, and I want an honest answer from you. There's been a lot of debate happening when it comes to cities like Bombay and Delhi, where they say कि इससे अच्छा हम rent कर ले rather than buy home because the kind of price it is, right? So when it comes to tier 2 and tier 3 cities, you see what's your perspective when it comes to comparison between rental market and a buying? Because I'm sure you could give us more in-depth market analytics that कि rental market in cities में क्यों नहीं demand high है, या है भी या नहीं है, या यहाँ के लोग ज़्यादातर prefer करते हैं घर खरीदना.
I think post-pandemic sense of home ownership has increased all over India. मतलब ऐसा नहीं है, जो लोग पहले tier 1 में भी रेंट पे रहते थे वो भी अब खुद का घर खरीदने चाहते हैं. इसीलिए डिमांड रियल एस्टेट में देखने को मिली है. There has been so much surge in home buying right now. So उसने बहुत मोटिवेट करा है लोगों को कि नहीं यार खुद का घर चाहिए, रेंट पे नहीं रहना है. आज हम देख रहे हैं कि शादी होती है उससे पहले पूछा जाता है कि आपका खुद का घर है, प्रॉपर्टी है नहीं है. सो इफ नॉट, कई लोग जस्ट न्यूली मैरिड है तो वो होम प्लान करते हैं कि नहीं खुद का घर खरीदना है. पहले ये था कि people young like us were used to think कि पहले घूमेंगे, पहले अच्छी कार लेंगे, पहले ये करेंगे वो. अब वो थॉट प्रोसेस चेंज हो रहा है. अब धीरे धीरे पीपल आर थिंकिंग कि खुद का घर, खुद की प्रॉपर्टी होना बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि द चैलेंजेस पीपल हैव फेस्ड इन द पैंडेमिक, पीपल हु आर लिविंग ऑन रेंट, एंड रेंट भी अब कम नहीं है, रेंट भी बढ़ते जा रहा है. सेकेंडली होम लोन जो है, जितना जिस रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट पे है, थोड़ा सा EMI ज्यादा रहता है, लेकिन पीपल प्रेफर कि यार खुद का घर भी तो हो रहा है. सो ये अगर होम लोन मेंटेन रहता है, ये रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट मेंटेन रहता है, तो मुझे लगता है घर खरीदने की इच्छा ज्यादा रहेगी लोगों की, बजाय रेंट करने के.
नहीं, पर इच्छा ज्यादा रहेगी, पर प्राइसिंग मैटर करता है ना. अगर आप कंपेयर करें मार्केट जैसे बॉम्बे का है, 3 BHK खरीदने जाएंगे तो आपको 4 से 5 करोड़ शेल आउट करना पड़ेगा. पर जैसे अगर मैं इंदौर में खरीदने जाऊँ, आपने जैसे कोट किया है, 75 to 1 करोड़ का मैं घर मिल सकता है मुझे अच्छा खासा 3 BHK स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम 800 स्क्वायर फीट कार्पेट एरिया. सो डोंट यू फील प्राइसिंग मैटर्स? क्योंकि अगर जिसको घर लेना है, जैसे अगर मैं रेंट में लूंगी घर इन बॉम्बे, इफ आई एम टेकिंग द सेम 3 BHK, आई विल बी पेइंग 1 or 2 lakhs रेंटल्स, राइट? तो पीपल, यंगस्टर्स कैलकुलेट कि अगर मैं EMI भरूंगा तो उतना ही जाएगा, इससे अच्छा मैं रेंटल में रहता हूँ, इससे क्या है मैं अपना लोकेशन चेंज करता रह सकता हूँ, कभी सी व्यू का मिल गया, कभी इधर आ गया. So when it comes to Indore market, I want to understand the pricing is good. So when you see the way home buyers preferences have changed, how 3 BHK and luxury premium properties का demand कर रहे हैं, उसके पैरेलली आपको कैसा लग रहा है कि वहाँ के youngsters are going for the rental or they are actually converting into becoming the home buyers?
मुझे तो लगता है they are converting to become home buyers. They are not preferring to go for rent, क्योंकि अभी भी ये प्राइस कम है. मतलब इन फ्यूचर अगर वो आज तो रेंट कर लेंगे, लेकिन कभी ना कभी तो प्रॉपर्टी खरीदेंगे, कभी ना कभी तो घर खरीदना ही है. सबके माइंड में ये रहता ही है कि मेरी नई जनरेशन के लिए खरीदना पड़ेगा. तो इफ दे डोंट बाय इट नाउ, दे आल्सो थिंक इन फ्यूचर प्रॉपर्टी प्राइसेस विल इंक्रीज. हो सकता है मेरा उस टाइम इतना इनकम ना रहे, या उस मैं एक सीनियर सिटीजन की एज में आ जाऊं तो मुझे उतना अच्छा होम लोन भी नहीं मिले. तो वो पहले ही डिसीजन ले रहा है कि मैं जब तक काम कर रहा हूँ तब तक मैं मेरा घर खरीद लूँ, उसकी EMI भर दूँ और सारी चीजों से फ्री हो जाऊँ. तो वो माइंडसेट चेंज अब आ गया है. वो रेंट पे रहेगा, लेकिन उसको आगे जाके तो प्रॉपर्टी खरीदना ही पड़ेगी. तो इस माइंडसेट ने कहीं ना कहीं मोटिवेट करा है कि नहीं, खुद का घर खरीद लो और अब भी खरीद लो. इसलिए यंग बायर्स आ गए मार्केट में, क्योंकि इनको लगता है कि बाद में पे करना इतना आसान नहीं है जितना अभी काम करते करते आप पे कर सकते हैं.
एंड ऑल्सो पहले हम लोग ने देखा था Tier 2 and Tier 3 सिटीज में हर लोग का एक एम्बिशन था टू हैव देयर ओन विला या बंगलो. वो ज़्यादातर आपको Tier 2, Tier 3 सिटीज में बंगलोज का ज़्यादा कॉन्सेप्ट दिखता था, विच इज़ नाउ चेंजिंग. So do you think the high-rise buildings or high-rise apartments will come more in Tier 2, Tier 3 cities?
Yes, I think ये कॉन्सेप्ट बढ़ेगा, क्योंकि एक कम्युनिटी लिविंग का जो फील है, जो सेंस ऑफ सिक्योरिटी अपार्टमेंट्स और बिल्डिंग्स में आती है, वो फीलिंग एक रो हाउस या प्लॉटिंग कम्युनिटी में नहीं आती. स्टिल ये चीजें करना चाहते हैं. डेवलपर वांट टू कम अप विद लॉट ऑफ अपार्टमेंट हाई राइजेस प्रोजेक्ट्स इन इंदौर. डिमांड इज ऑल्सो देयर. अगर आप रिसेंट में देखेंगे तो इंदौर में डिमांड बहुत है बट सप्लाई नहीं है अपार्टमेंट्स की. देयर इज लॉट ऑफ डिमांड बट सप्लाई हैज गॉन डाउन, क्योंकि पिछले 1 से 2 साल में किसी भी डेवलपर ने अपार्टमेंट्स पे काम नहीं करा. और उसके पीछे मेजर रीजन यही रहा है कि अभी FSI और गवर्नमेंट की जो लुक्रेटिव पॉलिसीज हैं, जो Tier 1 सिटीज में है आज की तारीख में, वो MP में नहीं आई है. वो Tier 2, Tier 3 सिटीज में उस लेवल पे नहीं आई है उतना. उसके पीछे मेजर ड्रॉबैक है, जिसके कारण एकदम बिल्डर मोटिवेट नहीं होता है. और जिस तरह से डिमांड बढ़ रही है, धीरे धीरे इन फ्यूचर गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसीज के सपोर्ट के साथ आई थिंक वी विल बी सीइंग लॉट ऑफ बिल्डिंग डेवलपमेंट्स हैपनिंग इन दीस Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities.